Hey guys, so I wanted to do a video about this, but it's just so fresh on my mind after today. I had a long day today. I had a funeral to attend of a close friend of mine. I was actually about to go take my makeup and go to bed. That's why I have this little thing on. Um, but holiday grief is so real, and it can be even harder if you have it can be even harder if you lose a family member around the holidays. Today, I went to um, a funeral of one of my friends who lost her brother. And usually, I don't do funerals, and I definitely don't do funerals around the holidays. But when you have people that you care about, you should, be there for them as much as you can. And um, Miss Francis has always been so kind to me, and I've really been, worried about her since I heard that she had lost her brother. So, I did attend the funeral today, but she lost her brother the day before Thanksgiving, and I know that that is super tough. Um, so I really have kind of like been worried about her, but then I worry about myself too. Because holiday grief is like it's a real thing, y'all, and I know it better than anybody, and I struggle with it every year. Um, and the hardest one to deal with is the death of my mom. Because she was sick all of December and Thanksgiving. She went into the hospital the day after Christmas, and she never came home. And I, for a long time, did not really care for Christmas. I didn't really celebrate it. It was just people around me would be celebrating, but I just felt like because that last Christmas was so horrible to me and what I experienced, I just never wanted to celebrate Christmas again. So I have developed healthy coping mechanisms that allow me to deal with the grief and to not shut down and not to be um what's the word, stifled by it, because it was at one point very crippling for me. So the one thing I always do around the holidays is I gotten myself into the habit that I do things that most people would do during the holidays, or I try to do things that remind me of my mom, things that remind me of my grandmother, things that remind me of my grandfather. If I'm looking crazy, y'all, it's because I'm tired and my makeup is done. I try to do things that remind me of them, things that I remember that make me happy. I go and visit their graves. I talk to them. Um, I do a lot of praying. Um, I have built the traditions that I had with them into my holiday season. So I try to do them with the kids and with my family and with my friends. Hey, honey. And that really has helped me over the last 3, 4 years with being able to get through the holiday season without feeling super depressed, without feeling super down. I keep myself busy. Also, it's a real busy time of the year for me anyway, so that helps. I don't hold anything in. I talk about it to get it out because sometimes when you hold it in, it starts to hurt physically. So I talk about it. I also try to do more counseling or therapy sessions around this time of the year because it helps me to go in and talk to somebody who I feel like is not going to judge me, um, to give me a perspective on how to deal with how I'm feeling. So if you are feeling the holiday blues and you are dealing with holiday depression, even if you wouldn't normally go talk to somebody, I recommend you would go and talk to somebody because it really helps. And another thing, I try to stay out of dark places because believe it or not, dark, dreary places will also it aids the depression, it aids the anxiety, it just feeds it. So I always try to stay in good light. I try to go outside when I can to get lots of sunlight because actually it does help. Just take care of my physical body, like because when you move around and you feel good about yourself and you keep your mind occupied with good things, it actually helps. I'm probably gonna sit down because I'm doing 2 videos tomorrow and do a sit down video about this, but it was just something I felt like I needed to talk about tonight because I know I used to think I was the only person going through this. But I know I'm not the only person, and even after all these years, I still question why. Yeah, the bad memories can plague you too, you know. Um, but I try to keep myself in a positive space. I try to think of the good times, like how one thing I think about when I get sad and I think about my mom. Every Christmas Eve we bake chocolate chip cookies. If you guys don't know, like I have like I know I got at least 5 chocolate chip cookie videos on this channel, but I always do chocolate chip cookies. I always decorate the tree a certain way. I always cook her favorite dishes. I always listen to the type of Christmas music she used to play, which was like the OJs, the Spinners, and all the old music. Marvin Gaye Christmas album, Marvin Gaye and Tammy. I just play a lot of the old music that I used to hear growing up. When I think about my grandfather, I take a shot of wild turkey because every year when I was little, my grandfather would go and buy like so much liquor and alcohol. Yeah, you should take it day by day. Whatever works for you and makes it easier on you, I definitely recommend you do it. Hey, Howard, Pink, I definitely recommend you do it. For my grandmother, I make a whole bunch of sweet potato pies. I talk to people. I feed people. I interact more with people. I invite people into the house. I do all the things that made me see and that made me feel was good about them during the holiday season. Um, and I try to stick with it. I always try to decorate a big tree. Um, I always try to do things for my niece and nephew that my grandfather would do for us. Like Chloe and Cameron are still small, but now they're old enough and they like fruit. So this year I'm going to start the tradition of giving them fruit and candy and money. I'm going to give them gifts still, but being that they don't really have grandparents, um, one of the traditions I want to pass on to them is giving them a bag of fruit every year. So my grandfather would go to the farmer's market and he would get these humongous oranges and apples and pears, and they would be so pretty, y'all. I don't know where he would find this fruit at. And then he would put like walnuts, um, yeah, workout does help. I mentioned that working out does help too. But he would put walnuts, pecans, chestnuts, the little almond things. He would put fresh nuts. I mean nuts in like the still in the shell. And apples and pears and oranges and $20 bill and peppermint and chocolate. And he would put it in these bags that he would find. Everybody would have a bag. And I actually enjoyed. I always looked forward to getting the fruit bags with the candy and the chocolate and the nuts every year. Um, because it was different. And the reason my grandfather did that, it was because he wanted to keep the tradition alive. They were, farmers. They were educated farmers. My grandfather, his mom and dad were school teachers. They attended They attended Tuskegee. So they were both school teachers, which was very uncommon back then. But his dad always gave them fruit because people could not really afford fruit. It was not something that a lot of Black people could afford back then. And to get fruit during the holidays was like, oh my God, I got a fresh piece of fruit. Yeah, they could grow their vegetables and stuff, but a lot of them didn't have like fruit or citrus or like really nice apples or anything. So he would do that as a way of passing it down. And every year, I find myself going to the store trying to find these big oranges or trying to find like a market or something where I get these big navel oranges and apples. And I always have a lot of them in the house during the holidays. And I always try to keep like peppermint in the house and candy. It really was, because he was passing on something that had been done from his grandfather, from his dad, to his children, to his grandchildren. So nobody does it anymore in my family. And I just want to be able to do it for Cameron and Chloe and hopefully my children, so they can understand, like, sometimes it's not always how much you spend on the gift, it's the thought behind it. And I can explain to them what the symbol is behind it and how important it is and how that was what they could afford at the time and how they were grateful for it. So I always, think about that. But now I'm so glad that I can share that with Chloe and Cameron. When I think about my mom, Cameron and Chloe are never gonna meet their grandmother. So my plans this year is, because my sister needs to learn how to make chocolate chip cookies, is we're gonna bake cookies this year. We're gonna bake cookies and we're gonna make hot chocolate and we're gonna watch the Christmas. We're gonna watch I think it's ABC, where they do all the Christmas movies like Rudolph. And I'm trying to find us all matching pajamas, and we're gonna do that on Christmas Eve. Me, her, and the kids, and my husband. And for my grandmother, I always cook a big meal. So I'm gonna cook a big meal for her and the kids. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So that is how I deal with like the anxiety of the holidays. It's gotten easier, I think, the last 4 years. And that's just because I have worked on it. I really just made up in my mind that I wasn't gonna let this time of the year control my emotions. I wasn't going to lay in the bed. I wasn't going to dwell on how sad and sorry I feel for myself. I wasn't going to ask myself constantly, why did they leave me here? Why I feel so alone. And actually this year, y'all, I feel so much stronger because I really don't do funerals. So today, just getting up and getting ready to go to the funeral, plus my zipper on my dress broke, not because I'm fat, but because it's just a cheap zipper. Fashion Nova need to do better with their zippers too, honey. Um, but yeah. Thanks, Pink. So yeah, I'm going to, do a lot of stuff. I already put up one Christmas tree. Would you guys like to see me decorate one of my Christmas trees? If you do, I'm going to decorate it tomorrow. So if you guys want to see me decorate it, let me know. Give me a couple more thumbs up and I will go live tomorrow night and decorate my Christmas tree with y'all. I have the one in the living room already decorated, but the one that's in the dining room is not decorated. So if you guys want to see me decorate my red and gold Christmas tree, then, let me know. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on Just decorations for my family. I ain't no decorator, honey, but I can decorate a tree. I have so much pleasure in decorating the Christmas tree. But yeah, just try to stay try to stay in a positive state of mind. Hey, Miss Diva, try to stay in a positive frame of mind throughout the holidays and stay away from negative people. If there is somebody who's negative, who's always in a negative space or takes you into a negative place, stay away from them. If it's something that causes you trauma that you're not at the point in your life that you can deal with it, then stay away from it. Like uh, I know that my family is a trigger for me, and I'm not trying to bash my family. There are some people in my family I love. I will always want them to be a part of my life, but there are some people in my family I can't do it anymore. If you know you have family members that are triggers for you, stay away from them. Celebrate in your own home and make your own traditions and bring the things back into your life that the people who made you happy did. Make those your traditions. Pass them on to your loved ones or your friends. So just try to stay positive. It's hard. I know it's hard. And right now, I'm feeling really positive despite everything that has been going on. But it was hard for me today. Like that was a big step for me to get up and get dressed, do my makeup, do my hair, and go to a funeral. Like, y'all, that was so hard. I did it. I made it through the day. I took a couple of breaths. I was there for somebody who needed me, and that made me feel good. And that let me know that I've dealt with it. Thanks, Howard. But if you know somebody who is dealing with holiday issues or who's sad or who's depressed or lost a loved one, if you got an extra $20, won't you just pick them up, say, hey, homie, let's go for a ride to Starbucks. Everybody loves Starbucks. Or go to Chipotle. Take them and have a drink or a cup of coffee and just ask them how they doing and shut your mouth. Ask them how they doing and shut your mouth and listen. Okay? Because they don't need you to tell them what you would do or how you would handle it, because everybody don't handle these type of situations the same way. Take them out, buy them a drink, shut your mouth, and just listen. Because a lot of times people just need somebody to listen to them so they can say it out loud and hear themselves say it, and that sometimes help with the healing process or helps them to make sense of what's going on with them. So that's what you do. Listen. Learn how to listen to people and not judge them. There are a lot of people who are hurting them. Thanks, Pink, who are hurting themselves, who are in a lot of pain emotionally. And they need somebody to talk to, but they are so concerned that people are going to make a status about them on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. And people are going through real life problems and they just need somebody to talk to that they can confide in. So just listen, Linda, shut up and listen, Linda. To the people who need somebody to talk to. Because that's what I feel like is wrong. Nobody's listening. Everybody just wants to prove their point or their agenda or how they would do it. I don't see how my phone is over. It say my phone overheating, y'all. Maybe it is. All right, y'all. I'm back. So I just need to unplug it. So yeah, and it was on this computer. I think that's what made it heat up. So yeah, just listen to people, talk to them, see how they really doing. Check yourself. Check in with yourself. check in with yourself, okay? Check in with yourself and see if you're okay. And if you're not okay, call and talk to somebody you can trust. And if not, go find you somebody who's a professional you can trust. Or talk to a stranger. You know what? When I travel, sometimes I meet people when I travel and I just have a conversation with them. I remember one time I was on a plane flying from, sorry, my phone keeps going out. I was on a plane flying from Fayetteville to Philadelphia, and I was really dealing with an issue. And I just started talking to this lady on the plane sitting next to me, and I was just telling her everything that was going on. And when I got off the plane, I felt so relieved, but I felt so guilty. And she got her bag, and I got my bag, and I was like, "Can I buy you a coffee? I feel like I just unloaded all my life drama on you." And she said, "Honey, you just seem like you really needed somebody to talk to." And I bought her a cup of coffee. And it was so relieving. So when I travel or I'm on a plane or if I'm on a train or something, I tend to talk to strangers because it helps. You know, I just sit and talk to strangers. It helps a lot. My phone is acting crazy. Y'all, I gotta get a new phone. So, I don't know. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, rotate your device. Okay. See, my phone is acting crazy. All right, y'all. So, yeah, I hope y'all can see me. Can y'all see me? So, I'm gonna go ahead and go share, spread some holiday love, check on your people. If you know you're not in the best of spirits right now, then go talk to somebody. Um, okay, and just love on them, give them a hug, and check in with yourself. Make sure you're okay. So, I guess tomorrow around 8 o'clock, I will get on live, and we can decorate. Sorry, once again. Like I said, I guess tomorrow around 8 o'clock, we will get on live. I will go live and put on a cute little Christmas dress, and we can decorate my Christmas tree together. So I'll decorate the Christmas tree with y'all, and we can talk. I'll make sure the phone is charged and nothing's crazy going on with it. So tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we're gonna go live and decorate the Christmas tree in the dining room because the living room is already dirty. Oh, honey, thanks. Honey, this makeup has been on all day, honey. All day. This the Estee Lauder. Estee Lauder, honey. She don't fade. But she has slipped into my 35 wrinkle frown lines, But they're not frowns because I'm always smiling. So yeah, guys, I love you. And yeah, it will be. I love you guys, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow. And y'all have a good night. And I love y'all. As I was saying, y'all have a good night. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And we're going to decorate the tree together. How about that? How about that? Thanks, Howard. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. 8 o'clock. We got a date.